The green, tedious storylines, film fans continued to pay 5 cents for a thrill-filled afternoon at the local Nickelodeon. Factors: the dawn of the sound era in movies, the stock market crash of 1929, and the resulting depression created a clamor for escapist entertainment in America as never before. It was a demand that the serials were uniquely qualified to fulfill, injecting the cliffhanging formula into such popular genres as the Western, superhero, crime drama, and science fiction tableaus. Translations to the screen were just as memorable and eccentric. Mandrake the Magician featured Warren Hull fighting a masked madman named the Wasp in a 15-chapter cliffhanger.
Huh? What's this?
Now you can get him, Lothar.
Me catch him. Let go! Let go, you pig!
All right, Lothar, that's enough.
Fighting anti-American agents was the Black Commando, hero of the secret code. An added attraction of the serial was a weekly segment in which viewers were taught how to decode secret messages. In the Master Key, Nazi spies were the hero's targeted bad guys.
I'm sorry, Miss Lowe, but you aren't going to write another column ever.
And charismatic Zorro.
Zorro. Can't you get rid of that man?
Zorro Rides Again starred John Carroll as James Vega, great-grandson of the original Don Diego Vega. And Zorro's Fighting Legion 2 years later saw the dynamic Zorro stop an Indian uprising in the early days of Spanish California. The serial starred Reed Hadley, who played both Zorro and the dandyish Diego Vega.
Don't worry, Tarmac. Martinez here warned us, and we set a trap for the gold train at the pass.
Ace of stuntmen, Yakima Canutt, was the stunt double in Zorro's Fighting Legion as well as the previous Zorro serial. The balance of the riders in this scene were recruited from the Republic Studios stable of stuntmen. Zorro's Black Whip followed in 1944. Although the story mentioned Zorro in the title only, the serial featured a rare Western heroine, Linda Sterling as Barbara Meredith, known to one and all as the Whip.
Black Whip might even track down the bandits and recover the money.
That's a big order, Dick.
Anything the Black Whip undertakes is a big order.
That's true. I'll do everything I can to help, and I'll let you know what happens.
The Black Whip.
Son of Zorro followed in 1947, featuring George Turner in a 13-episode adventure. And Clayton Moore concluded the Zorro series as the Ghost of Zorro in 1949. Moore would go on to create the definitive Lone Ranger portrayal on the famous television show of the 1950s. It was the serials that first brought the masked man to life. The Lone Ranger in 1938 starred Lee Powell in a shoot-'em-up adventure set during the post-Civil War Reconstruction. Tonto was played by the venerable Chief Thundercloud. And in The Lone Ranger Rides Again, the next year, Robert Livingston helped the Valley of Settlers battle a powerful cattleman in a 15-episode thrill fest. Prior to his serial incarnation, the Lone Ranger had earned a reputation as one of the most popular heroes of 1930s radio. And the transition of action storytelling from the national airwaves to neighborhood movie theaters made radio one of the most important proving grounds for cliffhanging heroes. Captain Midnight, starring Dave O'Brien, etched one of the strongest multi-episodic portrayals of the era. Radio and comic strip favorite The Phantom came to the screen in a 15-chapter serial. Tom Tyler was called on once again to portray a serial hero. The Phantom character established his headquarters deep in the jungle, vowing to devote his life to protecting the good jungle folk from evildoers. And the Green Hornet, a staple of radio for several years, became a serial superstar over a quarter century before his appearance on primetime television in 1967. Gordon Jones starred as the crusading publisher Britt Reed, and character actor Key Luke was Cato in the 13-episode thriller.
So it was you tricked me out here. Well, what do you want? What's wrong with plane 2824? Answer me, what's wrong with plane 2824? There's nothing wrong with it. You're lying, Bartlett. You know there's something wrong with it. What is it? If you'll untie me and let me bail out with you, I'll tell you what you want to know. All right.
Although the Green Hornet brought evildoers to justice, he was still regarded with suspicion by the authorities. Hence, he fought injustice without the cooperation of the police.
No use when you haven't a chance. Now tell me, who's the head of this?
Audiences just couldn't get enough of the wildly overscaled action that accounted for much of the serial's wholesale popularity. The Green Archer, a 15-episode adventure released in 1940, featured the mysterious title hero dressed in the manner of Robin Hood and brandishing a bow and arrow.
What is it?
There, the Green Archer.
Nothing there. Look for yourself.
Captain America battled the evil Scarab, who used a poison known as the Purple Death to eliminate his enemies. But Captain America triumphed and became one of the most popular superheroes in serial history.
Finds a withered mummy.
The commissioner's been alibying his failure to turn up anything in these Purple Death murders.
You remember the commissioner and I have cleaned up crime waves in this town before.
Yes, that mysterious Captain America did most of your work for you.
I feel certain that this new crime wave will bring him out of hiding to help us.
Dick Purcell, as Captain America, seemed a likely competitor to serial stars Buster Crabbe, Tom Tyler, and Kirk Allen.
Where's Gail Richards?
Where you'll never find her.
Studios had instigated plans to star Purcell in a series of films in the comic book character vein. But unfortunately, Purcell died before the final episode of Captain America unraveled in theaters. Kane's legendary comic book creation first came to the screen in serial form in a 15-episode adventure in 1943. Starring Lewis Wilson as Batman and Douglas Croft as the Boy Wonder, the cliffhanger sent the dynamic duo up against Daka, the evil leader of an enemy undercover ring who turns people into zombies. A second serial, Batman and Robin, came 6 years later and starred Robert Lowry and John Duncan in the title roles. A television debut which hastened the end of the motion picture serial, an entirely new arena opened its arms to embrace the former heroes of the silver screen. Early 1950s television brought a plethora of familiar Saturday matinee favorites into living rooms across America. Although TV dinners replaced boxes of popcorn, the on-screen action still held audiences spellbound. War returned as the Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger. A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo silver. The Lone Ranger.
Into the 1960s, the airwaves continued to present a parade of defenders of justice. The phenomenally popular Batman series was the rage of the mid-60s. Spinning off of Batman came the Green Hornet, with Van Williams in the title role and co-starring Bruce Lee as Kato. Bruce Lee would emerge years later as an international superstar of karate genre movies. Television screen, like their big screen counterparts, stand for and enforce the same ideals, possess the same values, and battle the same evil forces, and there is no end to their popularity in sight.